Hello and welcome back. It's me again, and today we will be discussing the pro choice perspective. Because I did pro life yesterday, again, I flipped a coin to decide the order that I would talk through these. And also, again, I am not criticizing either of these positions, especially not pro choice today. I am simply talking through the various arguments and statistics mainly. And today we will be playing Azazel, we'll be going for the chest again, and apparently also Hush. So, let's get into it. I will need to be a little fast, but only a little bit, because again, Hush, not Boss Rush. I know they sound similar. So today, again, I will be giving pro-choice the exact same treatment that I gave pro-life yesterday. Ooh. Very nice. Which means generally just not being overly critical. I may have some objections to some specific points today, as I did yesterday, that I actually really didn't get into. I know I mentioned one or two, and maybe I'll mention one or two today as well, but generally, there was a lot more to say yesterday in terms of my own perspective and opinions, just as there will be today, but again, that's not the point of today. I will save that for tomorrow, maybe. I may also change up what tomorrow is, because tomorrow will be going up on Easter, and as a Christian, I feel it's important to talk about Easter, you know? And I haven't so far. So maybe I'll take a one episode hiatus right before I finish. Who knows? We'll see. Ooh, nice boss for me. How did that kill the first guy but not the... Do these guys have different health amounts? Health totals? Weird. So many soul hearts. Give me a key. And yes, fire rate is delicious. Thank you. I am tempted to buy the map, but I won't. Alright, so the pro-choice movement. Oh, very nice. Advocates for so many bombs. Advocates for a woman's right to choose even more bombs. Not choose more bombs. That's not included. Not yet. Advocates for a woman's right to choose whether or not to terminate a pregnancy through abortion, emphasizing reproductive autonomy and bodily freedom. It also supports access to safe and legal abortion services, and opposes restrictions on abortion access. And where is thine shop? Oh, didn't kill him? There we are. Now, the good news about Azazel is that Azazel is always fast, so I don't need to worry too much about being extra fast, especially when I'm just going for Hush. Nice. And you. And... great. Oh, I thought I would fire that. I guess I was one frame too short in releasing that fire button. Oh well. So, going through a number of major arguments. Oh, I found the shop a while ago and forgot. Oops. The Heart Room. Ah, great. Well, let's go to the shop, I suppose. The first and arguably biggest argument is the fundamental right to bodily autonomy. I will absolutely take BFFs. And I might as well destroy that in case it drops anything, which it did not. Ooh, not bad. So, bodily autonomy in the pro-choice movement is seen as a fundamental human right. Perhaps some will concede that not infants, definitely infants, but fetuses, that's what we're talking about. Some may concede that fetuses... Also, I can take a devil deal, can't I? What would I get? Mainly just brimstone. So I will pass. Sorry, anyway, let's actually talk through this coherently. So, some pro-choice advocates may concede that a fetus may have some rights to life. However, the right to bodily autonomy supersedes that right if it exists. Of course, there are many in the pro-choice side who believe that a fetus does not have a particular right to life because it is not yet a person. It is only a potential person. I will not be taking lard. No, thank you. I will blow these guys up because why not? I have so many bombs. I don't need bombs to find secret rooms. So, yes, again, the right to bodily autonomy, that is to say, women should have the right to decide what happens to their bodies, including whether or not to continue a pregnancy. I'll blow those up just to be safe. Oh, great. And a related argument from the pro-choice side, another heart room, cool, is that this is important for women's rights because access to abortion is crucial for women to achieve their sorry, read the wrong line. Important for women to achieve their educational and career goals because men, believe it or not, don't get pregnant. And I guess when they do, they're generally... I mean, I jest, mostly. But that men don't have to deal with the financial burdens or the physical burdens or the time that it takes to deal with it all. Also, dealing with an infant is a major, major time commitment. So, the argument is that supporting abortion rights is to support women's equality when compared to men, then, which is true. It's not hard to see why. Hold on, I'm looking. Don't interrupt me. Thank you. Great. Is it something mostly useless? Hold on now. I know I have to be fast. And I'm schmoving. Maybe I should actually intentionally get hit. Maybe. Yeah. I like it. I like it like that. Okay, next major argument from the pro-choice side of things is that abortion access is critical, or at the very least beneficial. Sorry, I am mixing up lines. I wrote a lot of text today. Let me back up, hold on. Ignore the last few words I said. That abortion access is critical for women's health because although rare, some pregnancies can risk the very life of the mother. Sure. I hate you. I hope you don't mind. Ah! Oh, come on. There we are. Oh, hello. You aren't Pin. Well, I guess everything is terrible too now is in effect, right? And it wasn't before. That was a more recent change. Sorry, not changes in, like, patches or the game updating or anything. I mean, like, actual just change. Like, unlock. That's the word. I know words. I say them sometimes. So anyway, yes, another major argument is that, although rare, there are major complications or even death that can occur with pregnancies. This man, well, he gave me something, I guess. And again, from yesterday, since this is a more bipartisan fact, I guess. Well, sort of. Maybe I should just stop talking. I'm exhausted today. I don't mean stop talking completely. I just meant, like, on that subject. But still. And I need to stop saying, again. I've gotten back into the habit of saying it a lot, haven't I? Whoop. Yeah, that was bad. That was also bad, but less bad, in a kind of bad way. So, I believe it was something like 12% of all Americans believe that abortion should be illegal in all circumstances. I will absolutely give that a range up, which is unfortunately a lot, but it does suggest that a very solid majority of Americans, which clearly crosses party lines here, not that everyone is either a Democrat or a Republican, but that still, it does cross party lines here, that, again, a majority of people do believe in this guy. Not this guy. They don't believe in that guy. Not yet. They will. One day. That a majority believe in some access to abortion, such as in cases where the mother's life is at risk. And although I don't have the exact statistics on it, it is not unreasonable to assume that a slightly lesser number will also likely believe in abortion for cases in which there are major complications with birth or with the child. I am slowing down with this, aren't I? Oh, he's back over there now. Cool. Just don't move me across the map again. Good. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I was really hoping for more money, because I don't got much. Oh no, he's back over there. Oh, come on. Well, let me find the item room first, then. I'm all nice and big damagey right now, aren't I? And you. Oh, that's what was hiding here. Ow. I'm just thinking about the fact that I have the matchstick, and... yeah... Yeah, I have a lot of stuff right now, so I don't mind. Give me something good. Never mind. Your death will suffice. Let's see. There is also an argument for the safety of women, specifically from the angle that research shows, although I'll be getting to more actual statistics later. This is still the argument section, that women will... Oh, cool. And still no angel room. women will seek abortions even if it is made illegal. And so offering legal abortions that can be regulated, that are done by trained professionals in sanitary conditions, can be rather important for, again, women's safety. Again, the argument, the more fundamental underlying argument, and wow, I did get a planetarium. The more fundamental underlying argument being that, again, women will just seek abortions. Yes. Regardless of the legality of it. I'm trying to get as much money as possible here. Aren't we all, really? Isn't that just life? The next argument comes down to personal circumstances. That is... Hold on, I'm thinking... I mean... I don't think that actually works with the Two of Diamonds, but it's a fun thought. I could certainly get that. And it's only depth 1. Here's what I'm gonna do. It's time for you to pay. Well, that wasn't very much, but I'll accept it.
Two of Diamonds.
There's still enough room here to get... Oh. To get another item on the next floor, assuming that it doesn't turn out to just be greed, which it probably will. Because the game really likes that. Likes doing that to me. And now I'm back here. Back at where it all started. Ah. Oh. Not bad. All things considered, really not bad. So anyway, personal circumstances. This argues that every pregnancy is unique and has its own distinct circumstances that the mother must consider, that ultimately range from considerations regarding... That's grammatically weird, ignore the weird grammar. Let's see. Things that should be taken into consideration... Ow. Are socioeconomic factors, family support, and personal beliefs. Great. And these are all gonna be read. Why not? That's why not. That was a terrible idea. So, restricting access to abortion then does not take those various factors into consideration. It treats someone who is financially well off the same as it treats someone who is financially unable effectively to afford to raise a child. Hello. Let's slow you down, shall we? Well, that didn't slow you down very much. Ah! Get over here. Yay! Very nice, very nice. Double nice. Now that is some good damage. I recognize that most of it is from Bloody Lust, but still. And I fully recognize that I do not need to beat Mega Satan. Just hush, but still. Oh, I can also check the cursed room now. Very nice. Now, this argument is not always the most comfortable to talk about, but it is relevant to the whole topic, of course, is that not all women want to raise the child that they are pregnant with for various reasons. There are several contributing factors there. Again, unfortunate, but it is a reality that can't be ignored. You can't simply assume that every woman is equally willing to raise a child, especially if that child is the product of incest or that other thing that I'm not going to mention by name, but it's certainly unwanted. The pregnancy, not the child necessarily. Also, even just considering cases of incest, which there are more than you'd expect, unfortunately, those children are going to have some serious, or can at least have some serious health complications. So perhaps abortion would be better in that case, in those cases, to avoid that altogether. Cool. Oh, Penny. Oh, great. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, where's the shop? I would like to know. Yeah, I'll skip the shop. That's kind of funny. Although, this could also be very dangerous in the womb. So, the final argument, again, oh, here's the shop. Every single time, it's like almost every, maybe not literally every, but almost every run I've gotten this. It's insane. And I'll take that for more bombs, I guess. And you. Great, thanks. I really appreciate that. So, again, as uncomfortable as this is, there is a debate to be had of whether it's better to be born to a mother that doesn't want you, or a mother that doesn't, or not be born at all. That's the alternative. That's the correct alternative. I recognize I am a little slow. I am too slow for the boss rush now, but that's okay. That's not my goal. As long as I am fast enough through the womb, which I should be because I've been taking some extra time going to shops and such, and, you know, going all over the place, collecting items. Also, bosses are not that difficult for me right now, should be said. Now, it is a shame that I didn't really get to take advantage of BFF, at least so far. Alright, now that's enough of the arguments themselves. Let's talk about famous pro-choice thought experiments. So there is one philosopher, Judith Jarvis Johnson, who is rather famous in the area of thought experiments, particularly revolving around abortion. Ooh. And, in fact, most abortion, I almost didn't realize that was an arena. Most arguments you will find end up stemming from her, because she came up with a lot, including some pretty good ones, but here I will talk about just two. Oh, neat. Did I unlock that recently? I'm pretty sure I did. Actually, is that Judas's shadow? I don't recall. I think so. Huh. It sure is. I don't really care for Judas, but whatever. I will take you. And will I use you? At this point, why not? It's just one more devil deal. Effectively. Another range up combo pill. Oh, I think my range just maxed out. Huh. Anyway. Again. Oh, nope, it didn't. Never mind. I was mistaken. So, first thought experiment here is the people seed thought experiment. The gist of it is that imagine a world where there are people seeds that float about. If one enters your home, it can take root and sprout and grow into a person. Now, that is rather inconvenient for you, so like a reasonable person, you close the window, you take preventative measures. And yet, with enough people seeds floating out and about, it may yet still happen. Oh. It may yet still happen that one finds its way into your home. Do you have a right to then get rid of the people seeds that have taken root, since it is your home and your property? Well, I guess unless you're renting. Another book? Yeah, I'll take that. And yeah, just checking. Also, I'm not crazy, right? It's... Oh. 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 It's 30 minutes for Hush, right? Not 25, right? Right? I didn't get that backwards again? Okay. I think. Ooh. I think the world strength. Let's use the world. Strength is very good. Ace of clubs, don't care. Y'all use you. It's devil time, baby. May you cry. Beautiful, beautiful. Mama Gertie. You have no power over me, Mama. Ow. You have limited power over me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 30. I'm thinking of 25 minutes for the boss rush on the alternate path, I believe. Anyway, the second thought experiment here is the violinist, as it's called. So the violinist thought experiment, that is very rare, that there's a hole in the map. No thanks. The violinist thought experiment goes something like this. Imagine that there is a violinist, a rather famous violinist. They are a fully grown person, but due to an extraordinarily rare health condition, they are required to be attached directly to your body for 9 months in order to live, otherwise they will die. Do you have an obligation to provide them with your body? Huh? Oh, evil spiders. Also, I better drop the left hand if I really care about the golden chests in the next room. Hadn't I? Oh well. I'll keep them. There's still a chance of good items, albeit a slim chance. There we are. And there we are. Well... yeah. Alright, now for some statistics. Curse of the Blind is not at all what I want. I'll be honest with you. That is frustrating. Quite frustrating. Nice. Yes, I noticed. Top or bottom? Top or bottom? Oh, no way. No way! I haven't made that joke in a while. Oh, okay, okay. Not bad, not bad. Top from here. I finally have a friend that benefits from BFF. And top from here. That was the correct choice. Oh, alrighty. So, statistics. I've got a lot of them to share here. Number 1, and yeah, I don't care so much about health. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. 54% of Americans identify as pro-choice as of, I believe it was 2022. Maybe even last year, 2024. 54%. Now, I brought that number up last time as well, but I didn't further go into the detail that 63% of all American women identify as pro-choice. A very strong majority in a very divisive nation. A very polarized nation, rather. To break down some of these similar statistics even further, and these largely come from the Pew Research Center, by the way. We have that 76% of Americans under the age of 30 identify, or say that they aren't pro-choice necessarily, but they do say that abortion should be legal in at least most cases. What exactly does most cases mean? I don't think I've found a definition for that in the same survey that I'm referencing here from the Pew Research Center. So if you know, perhaps you could tell me, but I don't think the survey actually defined it anywhere. I think they just said, do you agree that abortion should be available in most cases? And again, 76% of Americans say yes, for whatever most cases means. Even 71% of black Protestants believe that abortion should be legal in most cases, and 64% of white non-evangelical Protestants also say the same. So really, the only opposition is almost exclusively white evangelicals. Almost exclusively. Of course, opposition exists in almost every demographic to some extent, but only in white evangelicals is there a majority of opposition to abortion access. Whoa, I got hurt. Finally. And again. Oh, not again. Come on, dude. I can't read while you're doing that. There we are. Maw of the Void. Excellent item. And we go up. Yes. Yes, we go up. After Roe v. Wade was overturned... Curse of the Lost. Great, thanks. After Roe v. Wade was overturned, an increasing number of people, especially women, are identifying as pro-choice. Another? Wow. Oh, and I don't have any red hearts. Well, okay, kind of. I should have been taking better advantage of that, oh well. More range. Don't tell me that's a black market either. I'm gonna freak out, man. Why did that guy take 7? Why do they sometimes do that now? Or am I crazy? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, but I'm not, because I'm all out of crazy pills. Ooh. Yes. And, yeah, that's wise to go to the chest without the red hand, I suppose. Fantastic. Hi. Amazing. Very good. Very, very good. Yes, you get out of here with that. Oh no, I created spiders. Spider seeds. They flew in through the window. Okay. Pro-choice demonstrations in recent years have also outnumbered pro-life demonstrations by more than 3-1, by the way. Counter-demonstrations from pro-choice movements have also increased. Although I didn't actually get exact statistics on that. I have a lot of statistics to share. I don't think you realize this. Anyway, next up, now that we're done with major population demographics, at least the population identity graphics, I guess. Oh, cool. We have the fact that nearly half, of all pregnancies are unplanned. Nearly half. Why does that matter exactly? Neat. Because if they were planned, that indicates, much more strongly at least, the ability for the mother to actually raise the child effectively. Basically. Because you would expect in that case there to be sufficient socioeconomic status. It's a roundabout way to say it. Sufficient money to actually raise the child. Finally, and it's a size down. So yeah, sufficient money and planning and family support to actually raise the child. That's what you would expect if it was unplanned, or if it was planned, excuse me. But the fact that nearly half of all pregnancies are unplanned suggests otherwise. That there's not enough support. Where is he? Another one of these rooms. That's fine, I suppose. Let's see. This is not just bad for the mother, of course, but also bad for the children. That kind of goes without saying. But it should be explicitly said anyway. Just for the sake of completeness. Fullness. Oh. Hold on. Let me yoink. Oh. And give that back. I am so tiny. It's incredible. Ah. Here we are. Finally. Look at this range on me this run. I know I'm a fairly basic Azazel build, all things considered, but the range on me. and also my tininess. That's gonna almost completely undo itself if I activate strength, but still. Next up, globally, each year there are about 73 million abortions per year. That's a lot. And about 45% of them are considered unsafe. Now, 97% of that 45% is in developing countries. So unsafe abortions are not really happening in, the US or other developed countries. But still, that's bad. That's a lot of unsafe abortions. Unsafe abortions are categorized as... Hold on. I may need to focus just a little bit. Nice. They're categorized as generally, I didn't find a specific definition, but it's abortions that are not done by trained professionals or in unsanitary conditions. And again, because abortions generally happen anyway... Wait, I have the compass. Perhaps it is best to make abortions legal, then, to allow for that access. Since women are going to seek abortions regardless. Hold on. Okay. Let's see, less than 1% of US abortions are considered unsafe. But here's a not-so-fun fact. Nearly 1 in 10 women in the US say that if abortions were made illegal in their state outright, completely illegal under all circumstances, nearly 1 in 10 women say that they would try to terminate the pregnancy themselves at home. That is significant and scary. Incredibly dangerous. Wait, no, I don't need that. I don't use it at all. Most women seeking abortions, by the way, are in their 20s. The second highest age demographic are women in their 30s. That was so satisfying. And about 8% of abortions are teenagers. Or perhaps younger. In the US, the rate of complications from abortion is about 2%, with most of those being minor complications. And, I have to see what this looks like. Yeah, I am normal-sized. Only 1 more damage, though? That's a little disappointing. So again, about a 2% complication rate when it comes to abortions in the US. And as far as abortion-related deaths go... And there we have it. Abaddon. Oh, and Dead Boy! Neat! I finally got that. Holy Mantle really helps. So as far as deaths go, there is about 1 death per over 220,000 people. So again, 2% complication rate, 1 death per 220,000 people. That is less than 10 deaths each year from abortion-related complications compared to giving birth. So with giving birth, you're looking at an 8% rate of complications That breaks down into 6.6% of minor complications and 1.4% major complications, and a death rate of about 1 per 3,000 women. So, to directly compare the death rates here, again, 1 in 220,000 from abortion to 1 in 3,000 for births. In the US, mind you. 93% of all abortions are done in the first trimester. And, again, from the Guttmacher Institute, according to a 2014 survey, I may have mentioned this before, but let me give you some explicit numbers for it. About 24% of women seeking abortions identify as Catholic, 17% as mainline Protestant, 13% as evangelical Protestant, and 8% as other religious affiliations. That is a significant number of women who, now, mainline Protestant, there's flexibility there for different denominations and their views on abortions, but Catholic and evangelical Protestant almost certainly against abortions, and yet that is nearly 40% together. Nearly 40% of women, again, ignoring the mix that is mainline Protestantism, about 37% really, to be more exact here, of women seeking abortions, at least in 2014, believed in moral systems where abortion was still wrong, and yet they still went out of their way to get abortions. So women are going to get abortions even if it disagrees with their belief systems. And now the final thing I will mention is the Turnaway study. This was a major study, at least major in terms of importance and relevance to the pro-choice movement, that finished up in 2022, that came to the conclusion that at least 95% of women who seek abortions do not regret having them, with positive mental and financial outcomes for women who did receive abortions and negative mental and financial outcomes for women who were turned away, hence the name of the study, the Turnaway study. They were looking specifically at women that were right around the limit for when you were able to get an abortion before being turned away because your pregnancy is too far along for your particular state. You're encroaching on like the third trimester. Now, the financial outcome is kind of obvious. And again, I'm just really stating it for posterity there. It is expensive to raise a child. So yeah, women who have abortions are going to be better financially. But again, positive mental health outcomes for women who did get abortions and negative mental health outcomes for women who were turned away. Also, women who were turned away, were more likely to stay in contact with abusive partners, and children, again related to the financial issue, very directly related in fact, children were more likely to live in poverty and less likely to achieve developmental milestones if they were born to one of the mothers who was seeking abortion. Anyway, that is everything on my docket today. And tomorrow I will take a, brief break from talking about abortions and mention Easter because it's topical. And then the day after, I have 1 or 2 more days of abortion-related content that I feel is appropriate. Namely, I am going to more directly compare a lot of the arguments and statistics and counter-arguments from the two sides, and talk more generally about some of my opinions, as I believe that I am a fairly unbiased individual. Let me backtrack that. I believe I am a somewhat unbiased individual in this, that I am more open to changing my mind on some of these issues than a lot of other people may be. So I am willing to explore both sides much more fully. Anyway, that will do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Happy Easter. Tomorrow, that is. Not today. Happy pre-Easter. Preester. Take care.